Hey everybody, today we're going to discuss what is Ethereum, and I'm going to try to give you the best non-technical explanation I can. If you haven't seen already, please follow the link below for Bitcoin, a non-technical explanation, because we're going to build on that for this video. So Ethereum was created by Vitalik Buterin, who I'm still convinced to this day is an alien, and if you haven't, Googled him please. He saw Bitcoin as this tremendously powerful tool and wanted to use it beyond just currency. He created Ethereum because he saw more use cases than Bitcoin could possibly offer on its existing network. The ledgers that Ethereum uses versus the ledgers that Bitcoin uses are fundamentally different. Bitcoin looks at all the transactions that have happened over the last 10 to 20 minutes, and then if it looks back into the blockchain, it looks at all the transactions that have happened in the past. However, Ethereum is an account-based ledger, so it looks at the balances of accounts as they make transactions throughout time. In essence, Ethereum is just an open source, decentralized platform in which people can build these things called dApps, or decentralized applications. Right now, it runs on a proof of work system, a lot like Bitcoin does. However, the key takeaway with Ethereum is you have this massive ecosystem of different Ethereum coders, Solidity programmers. They're able to build all these decentralized applications. In fact, a lot of times you'll hear something called an Erc20 token. Ethereum also has blocks, and there's rewards tied to these blocks as well, as it currently exists. Now, every time you do a transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, it eats up something called gas, which is just a divisible unit of Ethereum itself. Although Ethereum currently works on a proof of work, it's moving to what's called a proof of stake model, which instead of having a network of computers that are verifying the transaction and also trying to solve some sort of cryptographic hash, you, if you want to be a part of the network validators, will stake a set amount of Ethereum. Right now, one stake node is 32 ETH. Back in the day, that was as high as $144,000, but today it's around maybe 30,000. If for whatever reason the nodes and the network votes that you are a dishonest participant, you will lose that entire stake. So a lot like Bitcoin, it was the incentive metric to make sure that people were an honest participant in the system rather than trying to be a malign actor. Right now, Bitcoin can theoretically only handle about 7 transactions a second. Ethereum's at 20, but it's trying to scale to a lot more with Ethereum 2.0 and sharding and all these other things that we won't discuss in this video. An Erc20 token is a standard for issuing smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. ERC stands for Ethereum Request Comment, and these ERC20 tokens are essentially smart contracts that are built on the Ethereum blockchain. Smart contracts can then be used to create smart property or some sort of tokenized asset that people can exchange and transact for value. This is how we're bridging the world of the physical world and the digital world through the use of smart contracts. So what is a smart contract? Well, if you think about it, a smart contract is just an agreement between two parties in which if some sort of steps are met that are held within the smart contract, then the transaction occurs. So if you were to go buy a house and you were to write a smart contract, it would say something like, once this person wires me $350,000, then transfer title ownership to A. So A can transact with B, with A not knowing B and B not knowing A.
The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable eCash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A.
A smart contract is really just an agreement that's written in the form of computer code. A agrees to certain conditions of B, and they have some sort of assets that they're trying to exchange. So once the predetermined conditions are met, within the smart contract itself, it acts as the custodian and then transacts those assets as soon as the preconditions are met. So think of a smart contract in a way kind of like you buy a house. You go down, you're sitting at that closing table, and you're ready to get the title in hand. Now, the person that owns the house doesn't want to give the title until there's a proof of funds or certain conditions are met. And throughout the closing process, it takes you 30 days just to get all those predetermined steps done. However, once it's done, you then have an exchange of assets. Money is now exchanged for the title of the house. A smart contract acts a lot of the same way. It's just written entirely with computer code. There's no central authority, there's no trusted third party, and the code is enacted as long as those predetermined steps that A and B both agreed to are met. Smart contracts happen void of the enforcement of the law. They don't need some sort of centralized authority to basically ensure that the transaction goes through. It's written in code and executed once a series of steps are met. It's beautiful because we now, for the first time, don't need a centralized or third party in order to guarantee the exchange of assets for certain conditions. Erc20 tokens were the dominant pathway for the creation of new tokens. It started with the ICO craze in 2017, which led into a boom and a bust. And we're seeing a little bit of things now with something called an ERC721 token. It's a lot like an ERC20 token, however, it's something called non-fungible token. Now we'll get into that into the next video. Now we're seeing an NFT craze. We saw the boom, and I honestly think we're about to see the bust of that as well. Now where this goes in the future, I'm not too sure. But what Ethereum does that Bitcoin does not do is it bridges together smart contracts. It also bridges together a lot of ways to digitize assets of the physical world. So we're now bringing in the reality where we can have some sort of digitalized asset that can be exchanged on a blockchain ecosystem in order to transact value in society. So a lot of people ask, what is the value of Ethereum? Well, I think of it a lot like a company. And really, in essence, the company's value is associated with all the future money and earning power that that corporation has. We use certain metrics, maybe sometimes like book value, to see what its inherent value is now, but really it's the sum of how much money will it make in the future. So I look at the Ethereum ecosystem and it's incredible. In fact, over 90% of all the blockchain engineers are coding on Solidity, which is the Ethereum-based blockchain programming. So if I were to put my eggs in any basket, I'd want to follow where all the human capital is flowing. Right now, it's Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and a variety of other protocol plays. I don't know if Ethereum will be a lot like Yahoo or if it's going to be the next Google. I'm currently betting that it will. Full disclosure, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. And please do your own research and talk to a financial advisor before putting this in your portfolio. But a lot like my past video, if you're new to the space, I wouldn't recommend anything more than a 1 to 5% allocation in your portfolio. Because if this radically changes the way that we transact value in society, especially through the issuance of smart contracts, you don't want to be left behind. But if it goes to zero, which there is a probability that it does, it won't make a dent in your entire portfolio. So if you found this helpful, please like and leave a comment below. Give me feedback so I can better tailor videos to meet your needs. Thank you.